Chilean-American writer Isabel Allende is one of the world's most beloved and widely read authors. Her books have sold more than, wait for it, 80 million copies. Yes. And they've been translated into 42 languages. Her life story is as fascinating as her writing, and the two are often intertwined, including in her new novel, My Name is Emilia del Valle. Please welcome Isabel Allende. You know, Isabella, you are such a... I said Isabella. I can play with the name a little bit, right? Okay. So you are...
I've been very impressed with your pronunciation of
Allende
and del Valle.
Mira qué cosa. So, it's very surprising. After all of you've written, you started at the age of 40.
Yeah,
right?
I'm really old.
No, you look great.
Well, it takes a lot of money.
So, you know, I'm a late starter, too. I started my stand-up career, I was about 39 or 40.
I was 39.
Yeah, so I understand what happens there. And it's great to have a second half of your life so productive. Yeah. Tell us about it a little bit.
Well, among other things, I'm recently married.
Oh, congratulations.
So I got a house. I mean, I was able to catch a husband at this very late age. So I think that if I can do it, anybody can. There is hope for everybody.
Nice. Well, but you've been good at catching husbands.
Yeah, not only husbands.
Which one is this? Number...
Tres.
Tres.
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
But if I live long enough, I might get another one. You never know.
With that face, I think you will.
And Isabel, I had the enormous pleasure of doing a book event with you earlier this book about Emilia del Valle. And I've been reading you since I was a kid. I told you that it meant the world to me to meet you. And you know, as a kid, as a young person, you experienced political turmoil in your native Chile. You experienced a military coup that overthrew President Salvador Allende, your father's cousin. So tell me, that kind of knowledge and experience of dictatorship and everything and authoritarianism, what has that taught you? And where we are today in America, how are you feeling?
I am feeling worried, but not in a sense of being in despair, because everything changes. I write historical novels, I study the past, I study history, and I have lived 82 years. So I know that everything comes and goes.
Yeah.
And people have the power that we give them. It doesn't come just by itself. We allow things to happen. And I think that for every force, there is a resistance. And if people can be informed, connected, we can defend this democracy, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
And you were a political refugee. So what do you make of the anti-immigrant rhetoric and treatment of migrants that we're seeing right now?
It worries me, but this is worldwide. There are 117 million refugees in the world. 80% of them are women and children, and they are never welcome anywhere. But because I know what it is to be displaced, I know also what it is to get to a place looking for safety and not be welcome. It's very hard. And I hope that when people see one case at a time, they can have a better picture of what it is to be an immigrant. If I say 117 million, it doesn't mean anything. But if I tell you the story of one little blind girl that was separated at the border from her mother, and she was lost in the shuffle of bureaucracy, then you can connect to that case. Yeah. And it makes a whole difference. That's right. Because that child could be your daughter or your granddaughter.
Well, you also worked as a journalist for several years, and in 1967, you co-founded the first feminist magazine in Chile. Your commitment to social justice issues and human rights is often reflected in your writing, I think. And back in 2014, President Obama awarded you the Presidential Medal of Freedom for your contributions. So, yeah. So My question to you is, as someone who has faced freedom of the press attacks firsthand, what do you make of the silencing of dissent that we are seeing?
That's the first thing an authoritarian government does. Silence those organizations or those people that can influence public opinion. So first, the press. Censorship for the press, and then all the arts. So the books, the theater plays, the movies, the academia, the professors, the teachers.
The intellectuals.
Yeah, the intellectuals, the people who can really have an influence in the society. And that's the first ones that are silenced. And it's very hard to resist that. But you know, fear is contagious. And sometimes we're afraid of fear. There's no reason to be so afraid.
Yeah.
But it's contagious and it multiplies. And that's how it works.
Bravery is contagious too.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
It is.
Isabel, you're so fascinating to speak with because now all the brilliance of your books that I've also read makes so much sense knowing where it comes from. But you're known for placing strong, independent women at the center of your stories. And in your new book, My Name is Emilia del Valle, your main character, Emilia, is a bit like yourself.
No, she's tall and has long legs.
It's funny you mentioned that because I did notice. But a journalist who finds herself covering the 1891 Chilean Civil War and meeting her estranged father who abandoned her at birth. And you too were abandoned by your father as a child. Do you always draw from life in your work? And what is your writing process like, if you can answer that?
I draw from experience, from memory, from the people I know, for the things I care for. But any author will say the same thing. The author is always between the lines. And Emilia is not like me, but of course my background as a journalist helped me to develop the character. And because I'm interested in history, I could relate what happened in 1891 to what happened in Chile in 1973 when we had a military coup. Two events separated by 80 years that have a lot in common. So I see how things come and go. Everything changes.
That's right.
Everything
They
changes.
always say, write what you know.
Yes.
And that's what you do.
Well, I write a lot about what I don't know also.
But you can, but you mix it
ask
up. That's
around.
what we like. It's
Yeah.
wonderful stuff. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our
very
thanks to
much.
Isabel Allende. Her book, My Name is Emilia del Valle, is out now. You can shop her book by scanning the QR code on the screen. And members of our audience are going home with a copy.